My name is Michelle Molyneux. I live in Vancouver, and I oppose this low barrier housing proposal for the Arbutus and 7th location. Next slide, please. There are a number of reasons why I oppose this project, and while I do not live in this area, if approved, this plan would be a fast track to force this bad and unproven, unsuccessful housing solution to be implemented across Vancouver, which will in turn disrupt neighborhoods, not help those who are in need of rehabilitation, provide proper mental and medical support, and will continue to balloon the city budgets and will only increase issues around public safety. Next slide, please. Let me stress, this is not NIMBYism, but I and a majority of the taxpayers are deeply concerned on the balance of addressing mental health and addiction, homelessness, harmony in the communities, and public safety. Concerns with this proposed building rezoning has been loud and clear, including that it should operate without the required appropriate provision for clinical care or on-site support for mental health and addictions or public safety enforcement. For those of you who like to think that you are green or environmentally friendly, please note that this type of steel construction and design is not environmentally friendly, as would constructions, and can also be 20% cheaper than the option that you are actually proposing. Next slide, please. The proposed building contains only studio suites, which excludes companionship, seniors, families, including vulnerable single-parent families. There was zero consideration for the feedback that an alternative composition of single-parent or women-led family housing option would meet the unfulfilled need in Vancouver and would receive more widespread community support. Next slide, please. Ensuring public safety should be on the top of the list in Vancouver. This poorly designed 13-story monstrosity is also positioned to be just 18 meters away from an elementary school with 500 children, a toddler's park, and a women's recovery home. I'm not saying this in a despairing way, but speaking from experience, children and those who are at risk will be exposed to open drug alcohol use, inappropriate behavior, extreme littering, crimes being committed, witness to mental crisis or drug-induced breakdowns, or worse, physical harm to children and residences. Among other...
I will just caution you there.
Yeah.
Going a bit over the line with, say, physical harm. I mean,
and I'm speaking from experience.
Well,
among other worrisome allowances.
So I just ask you not to characterize the residents in a particular way. Thank you.
Thanks. Among other worrisome allowances, the site also requires no violent offender or criminal background checks, and this is also deeply concerning. As a former government-appointed board member for the College of Psychiatric Nurses of British Columbia, my primary role was to ensure public safety around nursing practices. As an elected government official or employee, shouldn't you also be involved or make sure that public safety is on the top of your role in this position? Next slide, please. Focus on solutions that work. So where does this leave us? This is a golden opportunity to turn things around and truly find the right solutions for everyone. Next slide, please. Let's do a paradigm shift and put solutions in place that actually work. Currently, there is a shortage of housing and other supportive services for low-income and at-risk parents and with children. In fact, 25% of those who are homeless have children here in Vancouver. And although most may not have a place to live, others are forced to go into foster home. This location is perfect to build a 6-story wood-frame family-focused rental building. Next slide, please. Wouldn't this location be more suitable for housing while providing other services for parents with children, including single mothers and fathers, and those who are at risk experiencing homelessness, or to help them overcome personal challenges? This infographic from Habitat for Humanity shows the benefits of providing housing for single parents or homeless families. This type of housing provides safe, welcoming, and enriching environment for families and a strong success for the future of children and youth at risk. Next slide. I'm almost done.
You are at your 5 minutes, though? So
no, it says 4 minutes and 58 seconds.
Okay. Well,
So it's time for us to think out of the box. We need to focus on recovery and have a lot of unused land. We have a lot of unused land down at Southwest Marine Drive, and we can rezone that portion to build state-of-the-art, highly successful,
I am going to stop
supportive
you there.
systems.
I have given you an extra 15 seconds, but Councillor Hardwick has clarifying questions. Councillor Hardwick?
Yeah, you said that 25% of homeless people have children.
Yep.
Children that live with them?
No, some of them may be living in other families on the couch. Some of them are living in cars, and others are forced to have their children go into foster care.
So you're suggesting that homeless with children, that 25% might be the focus of a development that is, I think you were saying 6 stories in that case. How would you manage? We heard from the earlier speaker at the Sancta Maria House of a 5-to-1 ratio. How would you manage that in the with homeless with children, in your view?
Well, I think that if you can build a 6-story, family-focused unit, you still will have the supportive systems in place. I think it's very important that we focus on youth at risk and have a preventative program. Children that are homeless leads to mental health issues and drug addiction. And if they have a stable, safe home, then that will actually relieve their problem. We need to break the cycle, and so far, Vancouver is not showing how they want to break that cycle.
When you say cycle, do you mean the intergenerational cycle?
Exactly. Yes. It's time to start focusing on children and families and help them so that they don't end up on the streets. They don't end up developing mental health issues, and they don't end up going to drugs and alcohol or crime. And Vancouver has fallen short on this, and it's shame on them.
Well, thank you very much for your presentation, and appreciate your answers to my questions.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.